Today, I want to ask you a simple question. If I say, yo hablo español, what does it mean? That's easy. I speak Spanish. Now, what if I say, mañana hablo con mi profesor? But wait, why am I speaking Spanish using the present tense to talk about the future, the things that I'm going to do tomorrow? Let's try another one. Todos los domingos juego al fútbol. That's not happening right now either. And one more. I live in Colombia. Maybe I'm not even home. So why am I using the present tense to say things that I'm not necessarily doing right now? What does the Spanish present tense really mean? So if you've been studying Spanish for a while, probably you've been told something like this. The present tense is used to talk about actions that are happening right now. Well, that explanation isn't completely wrong, but that explanation isn't completely right either. In fact, this is one of the reasons why a lot of English speakers struggle with Spanish, because they expect the Spanish present tense to work exactly like it does in English, and it's not quite like that. Remember, Spanish doesn't always think exactly the same way English does, and that is exactly what we are going to discover in this video. Hi everybody, welcome to Spanish with Mike. I'm Mike, and by the end of this lesson, I just don't want you to learn how to conjugate verbs. I want you to understand how Spanish speakers think, because once you understand that, grammar stops feeling like a whole list of rules and it starts making sense. So let me start by telling you something that usually surprises almost every beginner. The Spanish present tense isn't exactly about this very moment. It is about your reality. Think about these sentences. Trabajo en un hospital. Does that mean that you're working right now? No, not necessarily. You could be home, you could be on vacation, you could be watching YouTube. That sentence is only describing a fact about your life. Now, look at this one. Tengo dos hermanos. That's not an action happening right now. It's a fact. It's part of my reality. Now, check this one. Me gusta el café. Well, I'm not drinking coffee right now. I'm just expressing a preference, something that is generally true. So, do you see the pattern? Spanish uses the present tense for much more than just right now. It describes things that are true, things that happen regularly, things that define your life, your habits, your routines, your opinions, your relationships, even your plans. So that's why native speakers use it all day long. Not because they're constantly thinking about grammar, but because they're describing their world. So stop translating English. That's one of the biggest mistakes English speakers make. They're translating every sentence from English even before starting speaking Spanish. It feels natural. After all, English is your first language. It's the language that you already know. But translation may become an obstacle, especially with things that cannot really be translated exactly word by word. Imagine if I ask you, ¿Dónde vives? Your brain shouldn't do this. ¿Dónde vives? Where do you live? So, okay, I live in Chicago. Oh, okay, I live in Chicago. Yo vivo en Chicago. Okay. No, that takes time. Instead of that, you want your brain to connect the meaning directly to Spanish. If you hear ¿Dónde vives?, you should start training yourself to connect the idea immediately so you can answer naturally. And that's one of the biggest steps towards fluency, because learning Spanish isn't about replacing English words with Spanish words. It's about creating new connections. The less you translate, the faster your Spanish grows. So start thinking like a Spanish speaker. Here's something I want you to remember throughout this entire lesson. Native Spanish speakers never stop during a conversation to think, should I use the present tense here? No. Our brains recognize situations. Talking about work, present tense. Talking about family, present tense. Talking about daily routines, present tense. Talking about likes and dislikes, present tense. Talking about facts, present tense. That's automatic, and that's exactly what we're trying to build here. We're not after perfect grammar. We're trying to build automatic responses, automatic patterns, because language isn't a collection of rules. It's a collection of habits. The more you use those patterns, the more natural they become. So today, let's forget about memorizing verb charts and verb lists. Let's forget about trying to memorize dozens of grammar rules. Instead of that, let's discover how Spanish speakers use the language, how we use the present tense every single day. Because once you understand the logic behind it, you will stop translating and you'll start thinking more like a native speaker. The Spanish present tense is about your world. Now we know something important. The Spanish present tense is not about what is happening right now. It is much bigger than that. Think of it this way. Imagine if I ask you, Who are you? What would you talk about? Probably your job, your family, where you live, things you enjoy, your routine, your hobbies, your dreams. You're noticing something interesting here? Almost everything you would say uses the present tense. And why is that? Because you're describing your world. You're not necessarily describing this exact moment. You're describing your reality. That's what I like to think of the Spanish present tense. It's like the tense of reality. Whenever Spanish speakers describe the world as we know it, we naturally choose the present tense. Let's see how it works. Your identity. Imagine I ask, ¿a qué te dedicas? You answer, soy profesor. Or maybe, trabajo en un banco. Or maybe, estudio ingeniería. None of these sentences describe what you are doing right now. They describe who you are. They're part of your identity, and that's why Spanish uses the present tense for. Your daily life. Now, let's talk about routines. Imagine you're talking with someone and speaking about the things you usually do on a day. You might say, me levanto a las 7, desayuno a las 8, trabajo hasta las 5, llego a casa a las 6, ceno con mi familia, veo televisión, me acuesto a las 10. Is that happening right now? Not really. You're just describing what usually happens on a regular day. A routine, a pattern. Spanish loves patterns. Things that are true. This is another category. Facts. For example, tengo dos hermanos, vivo en Colombia, mi casa está cerca del centro. These aren't actions. These are facts about my life. These are things that are simply true. Spanish uses the present tense because these ideas are part of our reality. Opinions and preferences. Imagine someone is asking you, ¿te gusta la música? And you answer, sí, me gusta el metal. Or maybe, me gusta el jazz. Or even perhaps you say, prefiero la salsa. Again, you're not talking about this very moment. You're just expressing a preference, something that is true for you. The same happens with sentences like, oh, creo que es una buena idea. Pienso que aprender español es divertido. Necesito más práctica. These sentences describe your thoughts, your opinions, the way you see the world. Once again, here, Spanish naturally chooses present tense. For general truths, let's look beyond your personal life. Spanish also uses the present tense for things that are pretty much true. For example, el agua hierve a 100 grados. La tierra gira alrededor del sol. Los perros son animales muy inteligentes. These are general truths. No one expects them to change tomorrow. And here, the present tense feels like a natural option. So, can you see the connection? At first glance, all these examples may seem that perhaps they don't connect. A job, a routine, a preference, a scientific fact, but they're all connected by one simple idea. Native speakers never think like, oh, now I'm using rule number 3 or maybe this grammar function. They're simply talking about the world the way they know it. And then the present tense appears naturally. That's exactly how you want your brain to work, not by memorizing rules, but by recognizing situations. Now, here's a simple question that changes everything. Before choosing a tense, ask yourself a simple question. Am I describing my reality? Well, if the answer is yes, there's a very good chance that you're going to use the present tense. It doesn't matter if you're talking about your family, your job, your routines, your city, your hobbies, your opinions. They're all pieces of the same picture. They're all part of your world. And that's why Spanish groups them under one single tense. Now, let's talk about something that surprises pretty much every English speaker. Sometimes Spanish doesn't even need to mention the subject. You will hear sentences like hablo español, vivo en Boston, trabajo desde casa. So you're gonna ask, okay, so how come you didn't say yo? Did the speaker forget about that? Well, not really. Spanish is a little bit more efficient here. And once you realize this, you will know that in Spanish, verbs work more like they do in English. In English, it's pretty simple. You say I speak, you speak, he speaks, she speaks. We speak, they speak. The verb barely changes. In Spanish, it's a whole different story. You hear hablo, hablas, habla, hablan, hablamos. Well, and yeah, at first it feels very overwhelming. A lot of students look at this and think, wow, when and how am I going to memorize all these conjugations? But here's the good news. Spanish isn't trying to make your life harder. It's actually trying to make communication more efficient. And let me show you why. Every verb tells a story. Every verb in Spanish is a whole package of information. When you hear the word hablo, you already know several things. You know the action is hablar. You know the subject is I. You know the tense is present. And all of that in one single word. hablo. And that's incredible when you think about it. Now compare it to English. I speak. English needs two words, the subject and the verb. Spanish can often do the same job just with one word. And that's why you'll often hear native speakers saying things like trabajo mucho instead of yo trabajo mucho. Vivimos en Chicago instead of nosotros vivimos en Chicago. The verb already tells us who's speaking. And yo, tú, nosotros often become unnecessary. In Spanish, the verb does the work. Think of it as like little machines. Every ending has a job. Look at these examples. Hablo. The ending o already tells you is I. Yo hablo. Now listen to this one. Hablas. The ending as already tells you it's you. Tú hablas. And now this one. Hablamos. The ending amos already tells you is we. Nosotros hablamos. That's the beauty of Spanish. The verb is just not describing the action. It's also identifying the person doing it. English doesn't do that. Spanish does this a lot. So once you understand this, one of the biggest mysteries of language disappears. Do you always skip the subject? Not really. And this is something many beginners misunderstand. Can you say, yo hablo español? Well, absolutely. And it's perfectly correct, but Spanish includes the subject for some reasons. Maybe you want emphasis. Maybe you're making contrast. Imagine someone says, Carlos doesn't speak Spanish. You might answer, yo sí hablo español. Now, yo becomes important. You're making the emphasis. Yo sí hablo español. Or imagine two people are talking about their weekend and one says, yo trabajo los sábados, and then the other replies, yo no trabajo los sábados. Oh, there's contrast there. But in everyday conversations, Spanish usually leaves the subject out because verbs usually carry all that information. So once again, do not memorize. Look for patterns. Many students print a whole conjugation chart. They try to memorize 50 different endings, and a week later, they've forgotten everything. Why is that? Because your brain doesn't really like to memorize isolated information. Instead of memorizing hablo, hablas, hablan, hablamos, learn complete sentences. Hablo español. Hablas muy rápido. Trabajamos juntos. Viven en Mexico, because your brain remembers ideas much better than lists. That's exactly how children learn, and honestly, that's also how adults learn best too. So here's the challenge. For the next few days, stop paying attention only to vocabulary and start paying attention to verb endings. Every time you hear a Spanish sentence, ask yourself, who's doing the action? Can I recognize it just from the verb form? You'll be surprised on how quickly your brain starts recognizing these patterns. And once this happens, you'll stop thinking of conjugations as separate forms. You will start seeing them as one logical system. And that's a huge step towards fluency. But here's another thing. Sometimes Spanish also uses the present tense for talking about the future. At first, it sounds weird, but check it out. Mañana trabajo desde casa. I'm using the present tense, and I'm talking about tomorrow. Esta noche cenamos con mis padres. I'm talking about tonight, and I'm still using the present tense. El sábado viajo a México. I'm talking about Saturday, and I'm using a present tense. The verb is present tense, but the action is clearly set in the future. So the secret is context. So when I say mañana trabajo todo el día, the word mañana is setting the context in the future. Mañana, tomorrow. La próxima semana empiezo un nuevo trabajo. Once again, empiezo un nuevo trabajo, that's present tense, but la próxima semana is set in the future. Next week is already telling you when that action is going to happen. In English, something similar happens. Check it out. What are you doing tomorrow? You may answer, well, I'm meeting with my parents. Or maybe I'm flying to New York. You're using the present continuous to talk about the future. Tomorrow, I'm flying to New York. In our case, it's not the present continuous, it's just the present tense. So, in Spanish, when can you use the present for the future? Well, here's a simple guideline. If that action is already planned, if that action is already scheduled or already decided, then you can use the present tense for the future. Mañana tengo una reunión. Esta tarde voy al gimnasio. El lunes empezamos clases. These sentences sound completely natural to native speakers. But be careful, it doesn't mean that you're going to be using the present tense every time you talk about the future. In some occasions, Spanish prefers the future tense. So don't ask, what tense is this? Instead of that, ask, what is the speaker trying to communicate? Is it a planned event? it's a scheduled activity, something that's already part of a plan, then don't be surprised if you hear the present tense to talk about the future. So by now, probably you understand the present tense much better. You know it's not just for right now. You know it describes your reality. You know that Spanish verbs carry more information than English verbs. And you even discovered Spanish uses the present tense for talking about the future. But there are still a few mistakes that English speakers make. The good news, they're completely predictable. The mistake number one is translating word for word. And this is probably the biggest obstacle. If I ask you, ¿Dónde trabajas?, your brain immediately starts building an answer in English and then translating to Spanish. Problem is that Spanish is not English in different words. It's a different system. It's a different way of thinking. The more you translate, the slower you're going to speak. So if I ask you, ¿Dónde trabajas?, don't think, oh, where do you work? Instead, think of your workplace. Think about the idea and then answer in Spanish. The goal is not translation. The goal is communication. The mistake number two is using the pronouns all of the time. Yo trabajo, tú vives, él come, ella sale. Just like in English. And remember, verbs do the work in Spanish, so don't worry about mentioning the subject every time. Trabajo desde casa, vivo en Chicago, tenemos una bonita familia. Simple, natural, efficient. And here's a tip. Next time you practice Spanish, challenge yourself and try and see how many sentences can you say without saying yo. And most likely you're going to sound much more natural. Mistake number three is to think that all of the present tense means right now. Present tense isn't describing the moment. Remember the question, is this part of my life? Is this part of my reality? If the answer is yes, you're not going to be describing this very moment. You're going to be talking about things of your life. Trabajo en un banco. Toco en una banda. Me gusta la comida mexicana. Mistake number four, forgetting that context matters. Remember, the context will tell you whether the present tense is going to be said in the future. Mañana estudio en casa. The verb is in present tense. The word mañana sets the context in the future. Mistake number five, trying to memorize instead of recognizing patterns. And this is one of the biggest mistakes because you can spend a whole week trying to memorize charts and then the next week you're going to forget them. And this happens because our brains don't really like to memorize lists. Our brains have evolved to recognize patterns. Think of when you learned English when you were a child. You didn't have a book, you didn't memorize grammar rules. You were just exposed to the language. You were listening every conversation, you were trying to reply, you were trying to speak, you were trying to recognize patterns and follow those patterns. And that's why exposure means too much when you're learning a language. The more Spanish you hear, the more Spanish you're exposed to, the less you'll think about grammar. And that's exactly how fluency feels like. Stop worrying about making mistakes. Please make mistakes. Mistakes are not a sign that you're failing. Mistakes are a sign that you are learning. Think of how many mistakes have you made throughout your whole life ever since you started speaking your native language. And I don't think you speak your language perfectly right now. That never happens. Native speakers make a lot of mistakes, but we communicate effectively, and that's what we're looking for. Perfect kills good. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for fluency. We're looking for communication. So here's a challenge for you. Today, I want you to introduce yourself in Spanish. Just 5-6 sentences. Tell me where do you live? Who do you live with? What do you do for a living? Things you like? Your hobbies? How many languages you speak? And don't worry about sounding perfect. Just think about communicating. Then come back to this video. Read your sentences again and ask yourself, am I describing my reality? If the answer is yes, well, congratulations, you're already using the present tense the way native speakers do. So if you like this video, you know what to do. Share with your friends, groups, and social media. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell button. It's going to keep you updated on all of the videos we're posting on a weekly basis, because here on Spanish with Mike, we're just not memorizing rules. We're also learning how to communicate. So I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and looking forward to seeing you on the next video. Nos vemos pronto. Sigue estudiando. Bye bye. Sigue aprendiendo. Chao.